Hey, so today we got this 30 amp generator inlet box. Okay, now this is a sponsored video. Okay, these guys, they sent this to me. They messaged me and said, hey, can you show us, can you do a video showing people how to install this inlet box? Okay, they didn't even ask for me to do a review on it. They just wanted me to install it to show people how to install it. All right, but hey, we got it. We're gonna look it over and see if it's worth installing, because this is going on my house. I don't want to burn down my house. Okay, now this is from a company. It's called GFORIT, G-F-O-R-I-T, GFORIT. Okay, now I talked to Michael, or Mike, sorry, Mike is his name, and he's the one who contacted me here. So packaging wise, I mean, it fits very nicely in the box. It's not loose, it doesn't rattle around. You've got nice bubble wrap. I mean, you know, it does the job. Doesn't come with any protective film on here. Okay, this is gonna be outside. Okay, it's gonna get scratches on it. That's just a given. Okay. Now let me grab a screwdriver. All right, got us a weapon here. All right. Anyway, so basically, this is a plastic box. I mean, it feels like the ones that you would buy at Home Depot and such. Okay, what I'm looking for here is a CE rating. It's UL listed. Usually they're stickers. Okay. Now, first thing right off the bat, the lid snaps shut and it has these two screws. Okay. Now I have kids, right? I have kids. They run around my house all the time. They're playing outside. Neighbor kids are around, and they like to grab things like this. Well, when this has power running through it, right? Because it's hooked up to your house, these prongs are exposed because it's made for a generator cord to plug in and twist. Okay. So these are live. Very dangerous to have exposed. So they put on these screws, which is really nice. I gotta say, something I didn't think about until after actually looking at this and seeing that these screws are there, but that makes sense. I would actually also maybe prefer to have a little locking tab on here, so that I could lock it closed and know that when my niece and nephew, and my kids are old enough, they're not going to play with it once I tell them don't play with this, it'll electrocute you. But my niece and my nephew, they're another story. they don't listen the greatest, obviously, but yeah, so there's a nice little gasket in here, help keep the moisture out. And see, we got your standard four prong connection. Okay, now this is a 240 volt connection. We've got some screws here. Looks like that holds that in there. So I'm just gonna snap this back closed. We're gonna go ahead and pull these screws out. This is what you'd have to do to connect it. All right, let's get this separated. All right, again, nice seal. Oh, where did that come from? Oh, that's the screws. Oh, that's pretty nice. The screws are kind of sort of captured, but if you turn them, there's flat spots on them. They match the flat spots in the holes. It's like half square cut hole. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. They are plastic screws. Obviously, we're not going to be torquing down on them too hard. Now you see it's got a little rubber gasket all the way around. The problem I see is that, you know, for water intrusion, gaskets usually are not the best thing to use, you know, but they do have quite a bit of squish on them. See that? So it's got a squish in, but you also see how the ends squish together, but then there's still the gap in the middle, so it doesn't sit flat. This side sits pretty flat, but that's the short side. Let's go this other long side. You see how there's no gap at the ends and a gap in the middle? But it's still enough where this gasket should stay. Typically boxes like this, they have like an overlap and then the bottom part comes off. So like if we're looking at it from the top here, right, usually they'll have like an overhang, and then this cover will actually tip out and slide down to come out, and that just helps prevent water from getting in. Okay, now they look like decent screw terminals. Okay. Man, looks like you could fit probably a 6-gauge wire in there, which is definitely rated for more than what this is rated for. This is only rated for 30 amps. This plug is what they say. But it sure does look like you could fit a 6-gauge wire in there. I mean, I guess depending on your distance, if you're going, you know, a couple hundred feet to this outlet, you might need a 6-gauge to run 30 amp on. I don't have the specifications per foot right now in front of me, but I mean, all in all, it seems decent. I like that it's got the plastic like guide. They're tapered. You see how they're tapered? They're kind of cone shaped. Let's see, can you guys get in there? Get your peepers in there. Yeah, look real good. You see how that's like cone shaped to help guide the wires in there? Because when you start getting with bigger wires, a lot of times there'll be stranded wires. Okay. And I mean, these screws feel really good. They don't feel cheap and chintzy like some of them do. I mean, they feel like they'll tighten down and stay tight. You know, I'm gonna contact this company here, and I want to find out if that registration is legit. Because I don't want to put this on my house if that's not the case. So I'll let you know when we go to install this, if this is properly listed to be used and will pass electrical inspection. And say that this is not actually UL listed. I'm gonna say that this probably won't pass inspection. But let me check for sure. I'll leave a comment down below, and I'll let you guys know if it is, and see if I can't get their certificate to find out for sure. And then I'll let you guys know. If it is, I mean, it looks like it's a pretty nice box. The only thing I worry about is a little bit of water intrusion from around the sides. For one, we got plastic screws, and you see it's tight. It's tight. There's a little bit of a gap there. And let's tighten this one down. And there's a little bit of a gap there. See, like I can't get my fingernail in here, but I can get my fingernail in there. And then you see how there's this lip here. Man, can the camera pick that up? There's this lip here, right? And then it's the opposite. It hangs over on the top side. It's like the top doesn't fit this very well. I mean, it's for emergency use, right? I want this. If the power goes out, we get tornadoes or something around here. We don't get hurricanes up here in Minnesota. But if a tornado comes, knocks out power, because we're out in the middle of nowhere, it could be a week, 2 weeks, you know, you don't know before they fix it. And it's always good to have a legitimate way to run your generator to your house. Man, that's really a bummer. I'll link to this. I'm gonna say use it at your own risk. I don't think you're gonna get electrocuted from it, but I'm not gonna trust that little tiny engraving there, because that outlet is probably UL listed. That outlet is probably a legit outlet. It's the box that isn't UL listed. Otherwise, it would have a sticker on it or a stamp somewhere, and all there is danger, you know, electrical shock. Man, let me get back to you guys. All right, guys. So I did some digging. Okay. Now the outlet itself is UL listed. Okay, you can use that. The box itself, even though it's waterproof and it's got these rubber seals, you cannot use this outside.